What's up guys, it's Nick here and I'm going to jump straight into today's video. So in a previous post I discussed some of the drawbacks with modern lighting and how they basically take out the wavelengths which aren't part of the visible spectrum, such as your UV and infrared, and why those are actually quite important for your health. And then I said today we're going to be covering my top 3 choices for indoor lighting. So without further ado, before I actually jump into that, what's really important is that I'm not necessarily going in the order of which is the best at replicating our, like a natural lighting environment. I think it's really important that you have a repertoire of different options available to you. Like right now I'm at, we're at Holly's mom's place and we've got to make do with what we can here. We can't, change the whole lighting environment because obviously there's other people that will be affected by it and it's not that easy to convince. So what you basically want to do is make sure you've got a couple of options, and hopefully from today you'll have a few at your disposal. So the very first one is to use the old school like Edison or incandescent bulbs. So these are really nice. They're the ones that where the wire filament heats up, and that will actually emit a bit of the infrared wavelengths as well. These were some of the original ones. They're not very energy efficient on the electricity grid, but in terms of your health, they're going to be a much better option. What you do just need to be careful of is that a lot of newer lighting companies are basically replicating this light with LEDs, and I'll show you a quick example just so you know what it looks like. But just make sure that if you're buying something that says Edison or classic vintage bulb, something like that, that it is a genuine, it's got a filament in it that is heating up when you plug it in. My second option is to use any kind of red light therapy device that you have, be it a panel or what an example I'm going to show you guys now is the Mega, which is one of the big ones from Mitochondria. And what's really nice about ones such as the Mega is they've got 2 switches on, so you've got an option for your red or your infrared lighting. And if you're using it for a treatment, you'll probably be using both the red and the infrared. But with just if you're using it for a lighting source in the evening, I would only use the red, just because the infrared is not part of the visible spectrum and it can still have some kind of impact on your melatonin. Everyone speaks about blue light being the type of light that influences your melatonin secretion and can, obviously hamper your sleep quality. But even something like infrared, after sunset, you don't want to be exposing yourself to too much of any type of light. So just use the red light there if it is an option for you. In the future, I know Mitochondria, we are going to be releasing a set of like LED strips that you can use for home lighting. So keep your eye out for those in the future. And then my third option, so this is going to be probably the best one, which is going to give you the biggest improvement in your sleep quality, and that is to simply use candles. Go back to the old school, where our cavemen and our ancestors used to use fire in the evenings, anytime after sunset, and these have a really good color profile. You're not going to be getting a lot of blue light that will be interfering with your sleep. Something I've learned from Jack Kruse is to use what he calls a vino glow. So he basically uses a wine bottle and then he puts a candle in there. These are really convenient and they provide quite a broad area of light from the candle, just because it's at the top of like a beacon. That's a really simple kind of thing that you can use. Other than that, guys, I hope that you really enjoyed it. I actually have discovered something that I really want to share with you guys quite soon that's basically replaced a lot of the needs for getting these type of light bulbs in our houses. There's a really simple hack that you could probably do at home with something that you've probably got at your house already. So if you haven't already subscribed to our email list, I highly suggest you do that because it's going to be released exclusively within there. You can find a link directly in my profile on Instagram. That's at circadian_warrior. There's a link there that'll take you to a page. And if you're watching this in any of our groups, then you will see, I'll make sure that I post a link at the bottom of that. Other than that, guys, I hope that you have a fantastic day and that you sleep really well tonight. Cheers.